Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, August the 11th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, how are you on this weekend eve, I'm going to call it, because I like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think we need to do like Europe. So if we have any of our listeners, we do have some listeners in Spain, France, some different places. How about we do Monday through Thursday is the week, and Friday through Sunday is the weekend? Does that work for you?
That works for me. Works for me for sure.
Right.
So yeah, good day yesterday. The early slate was better for me than the main slate, but I was able to cash a little bit thanks to your main slate lineup. So overall, it was a good day.
Yeah, I was really happy about it, and it was one of those days where really for me the hottest thing was PrizePicks and my Boom Fantasy plays.
Yeah,
All of those came in really well, so I was loving that. You got to love when you have the mixture of those hits with some DFS hits as well.
definitely. And I
So,
saw our boy from Cali. I think he
yeah.
had another 5-pick on Prize Picks.
Oh
So
my goodness. Yeah,
yeah,
he's on fire on PrizePicks. We're
yeah,
going to have to get a celebrity pick of the day from him if he keeps this up.
yeah. Yeah, 2 nights in a row he's done that. So yeah, he's killing it over there.
Oh, he's not even in chat yet to listen to all this love we're throwing his way. So he's late to the party here. We'll have to give him the business once he gets in here.
Looks like he also had a nice winner on DraftKings. I just now seeing this.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some hits all the way around.
Yeah.
So that was good. Shout out to Leonidas, too, our Yahoo player. He reminded me, I forgot initially to post the golf lineups, which I never forget lineups. So
Right.
big shout out to him. Golf is started today for that tournament. So we got all kinds of good stuff going. And again, great day yesterday. Today's going to be fun because we have so much going on. We've got our main slate being during the day. And then we've got 2 games tonight with that not Hall of Fame game, but
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams game, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I remember watching that and talking to you about it last year. That was phenomenal last year.
It was awesome. It's going to be hard to figure out what I'm going to watch tonight because I want to see how my NFL preseason. We're going to be giving those out tonight,
right?
Too. So we have a lot, between that and golf and Field of Dreams, a lot to choose to watch tonight. So
we do. I'm probably going to be watching that again. I just love the nostalgia of that.
It's so pretty cool. Awesome.
I'd love to go to that game someday.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I wonder how hard it is to get a ticket.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know how they settled on this matchup this year either, but it'd still be fun no matter what. So.
It definitely should be.
Yeah.
So, again, a great power-packed day, a very exciting day for us at Coach Talk here with all the stuff going on. And we want to get a hot streak going right into this weekend. So definitely fired up. So today we'll go over the main slate, which is the day slate of 6 games. And then we'll talk about the 2 games this evening. So we will touch on all 8 games briefly as we go through. And get you all ready for everything there. Good morning, Dominic, JT. What's happening, man? You guys give boy from Cali some business when he gets in here because he's late, and we were just talking him up too. So how about that? All right, man. Let's fire through the 8 games. Great news is no weather issues, so that makes life a lot easier for us here. I felt like weatherman coach here yesterday. My goodness.
Yeah.
But it paid off because we completely faded that Philly game, and that was important. That ended up being important to the whole slate for us. I think it helped us cash too.
It really was.
Yep. Payne, what's up, man? Let's go. I agree with you, buddy. All right, here we go. And feel free to interrupt anywhere if you have anything you want to throw in there. If not, I'm going to fire through these 8 games like nobody's business. Okay. 105, Miami Marlins at Philadelphia Phillies. It is beautiful in Philly, 84. No breeze much of any to speak of. Vegas total of 8, 3.56 implied for the Marlins, 4.44 for the Phillies. Edward Cabrera is on the mound for the Marlins at 8.6K, and Kyle Gibson at 8K for the Phillies. 110, Cleveland Guardians versus Detroit Tigers. It is 78 degrees in Detroit, wind blowing out to right center at 10 miles an hour. 8.5 is the Vegas total, 4.72 implied for the Guardians, 3.78 for the Tigers. Couple of right-handers on the hill. Zach Plesac, 6.9K versus Garrett Hill at 6.2K. We go down to 210 and in Houston in the Dome, in the hot weather down there. It is the Rangers at the Astros. 8 is the total in Vegas. A low 2.76 for the Rangers implied, and a big 5.24 for the Astros. So definitely shaping up as a blowout game here, as the biggest chalk on the board are the Astros. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of them stack-wise, etc. For the Rangers, the young lefty Cole Reagans takes the mound. He's only 5.4K. And the somewhat expensive Framber Valdez, the lefty, also 9.8K, a bit more expensive, like 4.5K more expensive than his counterpart, Cole Reagans. All right, also at 210, we have the White Sox at the Royals. A warm 87 degrees in Kansas City, no wind to talk of. Vegas has this low, though, 7.5 as a total, 4.28 implied for the White Sox, 3.22 for the Royals. Pretty expensive, but deservedly so. Dylan Cease at 10.4K for the White Sox against Zach Greinke, the old veteran, 5.7K. And we talked about this with Deb on Tuesday. Old Greinke there, he has a tendency to do all right at home. So that's an interesting stat there for a very cheap Zach Greinke.
Yep.
All right, on to 310, the game that everybody's going to have 100 people in, and deservedly so, because it's been necessary in this series. Red hot 93 degrees in Denver.
Wow.
Yeah. And a breeze blowing out to left, only 3 to 5 miles an hour, but still. And it's Cardinals Rockies. And the Vegas said, hey, 12.5's the number today. So it keeps going up every day. How about they split 6.25 implied for both teams? I have not seen an implied total of over 6 for both teams all season.
Yeah, that's interesting they say that, because I was going to get into that here in a little bit on the Boom Fantasy play, but I kind of feel the same way. I think both teams are going to, the first game went Colorado's way pretty easily. The last game last night was, pretty easy. And for St. Louis up until the very end, they made it a little bit interesting. But I think both teams are going to score quite a few runs today. So
yeah, you and everybody else, that is definitely the way it's shaping up.
Yeah.
It's Dakota Hudson, 5.5K for the Cardinals, and Herman Marquez, 7.6K for the Rockies. Those two get to enjoy pitching in cores on a super hot summer day.
Good luck.
Yes. All right, the last early game part of that main slate is the Pirates at the Diamondbacks, also in the Dome with the Humidor. 8 is the total in that game at 3:40 p.m. Eastern. 3.40 implied for the Buccos, 4.60 for the D-backs. JT Brubaker, 7.8K versus Merrill Kelly, 9.1K. And then the last two games on the slate, the evening games at 7:10, Baltimore Orioles at the Boston Red Sox. Comfortable 75 degrees, wind blowing right to left, 8 miles an hour in Boston. A pretty good total in Vegas of 10, 4.78 implied for the O's, 5.22 for the Red Sox. Dean Kramer, 6.1K versus Josh Winkowski, 7.1K. And then the last game on the slate is the Field of Dreams game and on the field in Iowa. It's the Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds. Looks like 80 degrees in Iowa for this game with a slight breeze blowing out to right center at 6 miles an hour. Small chance of a shower here or there. 19-20% is the max it gets throughout the game. I think we should be safe there. It is a total in Vegas of 9, and it is split right down the middle, implied of 4.50 to both sides, and a couple of lefties, 7.5K for Drew Smiley, and a little pricey Nick Lodolo at 9.3K for the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
So that is the lowdown, and we got a lot of lineups dropping, so we can refer to those as we're going today as well.
Sounds good.
All right. This is the money time. This is where we get into the bucks, where it counts. We're going to go over pay up, value, and fade.
Yep.
What do you got, sir?
My pay-up pitcher is going to be Dylan Cease. He's 10-9 on Fanduel, 10-4 on DraftKings. He scored 40-plus fantasy points in 9 of his last 10 starts.
Yep.
He went up against Kansas City in Kansas City on May 17th, and in that game he pitched 5 2/3 shutout innings. He struck out 9 for 50 fantasy points. And so far in this series, the White Sox and the Royals have been alternating wins. And I think that that's going to continue today, and Dylan Cease will be a big part of the reason why. So Dylan Cease is going to be my top pay-up pitcher. My value pitcher is going to be Kyle Gibson. He's 9,000 on FanDuel, 8,000 on DraftKings. His last 2 starts against Miami, he pitched 6 innings, allowed 1 run while striking out 5 for 40 fantasy points. That was in Miami. And then on July 15th, in Philadelphia at home, he pitched 8 innings, struck out 6, and only allowed 1 run for 43 fantasy points. So
yes,
I like Kyle Gibson. Miami has the 7th highest strikeout rate, and they've scored the 5th fewest runs per game at 3.82. So Kyle Gibson's going to be my value play. My fade pitcher for today is going to be Framber Valdez. He's 10-4 on FanDuel, 9,800 on DraftKings. He scored less than 40 fantasy points in 4 of his last 5 starts. And I would just, prefer to pay up for Cease or down a little bit for Gibson. So that's why I'm going to fade Valdez on this slate.
Well, I'll tell you, this is pretty hilarious. We've done 8 million of these broadcasts together.
Yeah.
And this has never happened before. It's funny because we always say, let's stay fresh and not tell each other who we're picking.
Yeah.
So it's just an instant reaction. You're never going to believe this, Crash. I have the same 3 guys.
Wow.
Same 3 guys.
As many of these things as we've done has never happened. And
it might never happen again. It's not like there's just 2 games on the slate. There's a decent amount of games here. Yeah. I have exactly the same thing. But before I get into that, I got to shout out to Boy from Cali. He's finally joined the party.
Right.
And Cali, man, you missed it. We were talking about you like you were the next best thing on earth since you been crushing all these 5 plays on PrizePicks, but hey, you missed it, man. Sorry. Great to have you join us in here, though. JT, what's up? We got some people jumping in. So anyway, I'll just go over it, even though it's the same. I mean, that has got to give everybody a lot of confidence today for sure.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Cease is just such an impossible fade today. How do you not play Dylan Cease, Crash? Explain that to me. It's impossible.
No way.
Not only has he been unbelievable, over 40 time after time after time, he's just been so consistent. It's a great matchup against a garbage Kansas City team. It's not ridiculous pricing. He should be way more expensive than this. The 10-4 on DraftKings should be about 11.3. The 10-9 on FanDuel should be about 12.4. And he's 55 on Yahoo, should be like 62, like they used to have, the single ace pitcher on a slate. So, even though he's my pay up, I think at those prices he's a value. I just think he's unfadable in everything. He'll be in 100% of my cash lineups in my GPPs and everything that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite plays of the pitching season, as far as just lock compared to everybody else on the slate. I'm with you 100% on Kyle Gibson. I think he is underpriced a lot here. He's been very steady as well. I mean, you look at he's had 2 really bad outings, okay, where he got crushed. But that was one was on July 22nd against the Cubs. One was back on July 26th against the Padres. But granted, hopefully he doesn't have one of those, brain freeze games. Every other game's been fantastic. 43 against Washington, 34 against Atlanta, 40 against Miami, 40 at St. Louis in a tough matchup, 26 against Texas, 43 against Miami again, 31 Arizona. So, I mean, this guy puts numbers up on the board. Now, he's not going to blow you away with his strikeouts. You can sort of mail in his 4 or 5 strikeouts every game, but he doesn't give up a ton of hits, doesn't give up a ton of walks. I just think at his pricing of $8,000 on DraftKings, $9,000 on Fanduel, and $37 is all on Yahoo, I think he's the perfect SP2 to go along with Dylan Cease. And, I hesitate to say it, but I may have those 2 pitchers everywhere in pretty much everything.
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to, for sure.
And the fact that we both are fading Framber Valdez is gutsy because he's going to be chalky, I think. He'll be up there second to Cease in ownership. I mean, Houston is a massive favorite in this game.
Right.
And Valdez, everybody loves playing him, especially at home. But, I haven't been overly impressed. He gives up 2, 3, 4 runs like multiple games in a row.
Yeah.
That, how I always talk about those, fling the bat homers in Houston. So I just don't feel comfortable paying those expensive prices for Valdez. I understand he's going to be highly owned and, his percentage of success on this slate is very high, but I don't see the need to go up to Cease and Valdez, especially if he's going to give up his normal 3-4 runs,
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So that's it. We're on the same page for the first time ever. That is going to be very cool.
Yeah.
Now let's see. Hopefully we don't if we have the same on these, it's, I won't change either. I'll let you go. Actually, I'll go first. So since it seemed like I copied you the last time, you can see maybe I copy you this time.
Okay.
My BVP play is an absolute no-brainer. I mean, if you don't play this guy today, you have got to have 100 pounds of rocks in your head. Paul Goldschmidt. Come on, man. Yeah. I mean, really? It's in Colorado, 93 degrees. He has incredible BVP against German Marquez. So he's 13 for 43 against, or 34, I'm sorry. 13 for 34 against him, 6 of them for extra base hits, 4 homers, 8 ribbies. He sees them well. He's walked 5 times. So, Goldschmidt, you could have everywhere with everything. I don't care that is he expensive. He's underpriced for what this matchup and what the slate dictates today. He's got a 1269 OPS against German Marquez, 794 slugging, 475 OBP, and 382 average. So Goldschmidt is a lock button, and I'm going to pull the word out, lock washer today. So Goldschmidt, lock washer. For my home run call, I'm going to go against Framber Valdez. Like we said, we're fading him anyway. I'm going with Marcus Semien here. He's only faced him 11 times. He's 3 for 11, 2 extra base hits, a homer. But I like the spot for him here. I think that Valdez could give up a couple of dingers, and I'm hoping one of them is to Semien. He should get that extra at bat with, the 9th inning being on the road. So I think he'll get that extra 5th or hopefully 6th at bat if they score a lot of runs. 909 OPS, 636 slugging, and that's 273 OBP and average against Valdez. So those are my BVP HR, man. What do you got?
Okay, so my BVP is Paul Goldschmidt, which I figured we'd probably have the same one. That's just too good to pass up. My home run call is Jose Altuve. He's hit 326 against lefties with 9 of his 19 home runs against lefties this year, which usually you'll see with most batters. They'll have a pretty heavily slanted one way or the other, but his is almost even with righties and lefties. So I like the matchup there for Altuve against Cole Reagans.
I like it. Yeah, Cole Reagans does not strike fear into a lot of batters, I don't believe.
I don't believe so.
No. As far as my stacks, I'm going to be dumb and simple today. So you can make fun of me if you want, but that's what I'm going to do is St. Louis and Colorado. How much more difficult does it have to be? Just, for me, I'm going to have Cease and Gibson, and I'm going to scatter in as many Cardinals and Rockies I can all over the board. I mean, you have to. I mean, not only does the slate dictate it, the matchup dictates it. It just makes perfect sense. So I'm just going, as many Rockies. I don't care if they're batting 7th, 8th, 9th. I'll do whatever I can to get as many of the Rockies and Cardinals in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, even in my GPPs right now, I have some St. Louis and Colorado. So it's just too hard to get away from that game. But outside of that, I like Houston against Cole Reagans. As I mentioned, Jose Altuve is my home run call. I also like Jeremy Pena. He's been good against lefties too. He could be a lower owned home run. And then I like for GPP, I like Cleveland against Garrett Hill. So
yeah, I've liked the Guardians a lot lately too. So hopefully we get a bunch of runs out of these guys. Yesterday was awesome. My 2 stack teams, I got a combined 23 runs out of. So that always makes it feel good.
Definitely.
I'm expecting hopefully similar to today. That would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we go to this PrizePicks and Boom Fantasy selections, real quickly, if you are watching on YouTube, this is your opportunity. Take a second here, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click that little alert in the upper corner. That lets you know when any of our podcasts go live. And you want to have that, we're trying to go live right at 11 a.m. every day except for Monday when Craig has to meet with his financial advisor to talk about those millions of investments that he's got floating out there. And and that's going to be at noon on Monday. So, but you do want to get alerted if we have some pop-up podcasts. One thing I'll announce today too, as football gets closer, we're going to do some more baseball and then football, of course, live before lock type of podcasts. So you'll want to have the alert clicked for that. And, we're going to really start expanding what we're doing podcast wise and live, really live streaming a lot more. So definitely click that button. Also, if you are listening in any of our audio podcast landing spots like Podbean, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, Spotify, you name it, take a second, click the 5-star, whatever the top rating is, and make a quick comment there. What we do is at the end of each month, and somehow we're approaching mid-month already. I don't know how, but by the time we get through this weekend, we'll be half through August. So football is almost here, Crash. I know you're going nuts for that. But if you give us the top rating and a little comment, we'll have a drawing for a free 1-month membership at the end of each month. And love to have one of you all out there win that. Also, if you want to join us here at Coach Talk, it's a perfect time to do so. We have a 3-day pass. So here you go. You get today, Friday, and Saturday. This way you get all of our golf stuff that we are putting out. You got our NFL preseason tonight, and then a ton of baseball. And then Saturday, you also have MMA. So great 3-day, $10 investment for you today. And then we have several other kinds of memberships there. On Sunday, our second half of the MLB package expires. So you won't be able to get that after Sunday. So if you're looking to get that all the way through to October 1st, where you get that first month of the NFL, this would be the time to do it. So definitely jump in there. All right. Any questions? Throw them in chat. I see some folks in there. Thank you for joining us again today. If you do have any questions on the slate, though, put them in there and we'll check them after this next segment. All right, Crash, what are your top 2 prize picks plays of the day?
Well, that's a perfect segue because I just got a notification on my phone that the first NFL preseason entry that you make on PrizePicks today is risk-free up to $10.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah, definitely. So you have to use only NFL, players. That's the only thing. You can't mix it, but still risk-free. So
nice.
I am going to go with, for my top PrizePicks play, this is a no-brainer. Paul Goldschmidt over 1.5 total bases. He'll probably get that his first at bat. And then I also like there's 2 that I like. Which one do you want me to give, the pitcher or the hitter?
You can give both if you want to do a bonus here.
Okay. I like Kyle Schwarber over 6.5 fantasy score. I know Edward Cabrera looked good in that first start against the Cubs, but I still have some questions about him, and the Phillies are red hot. So I like Schwarber at over 6.5. And then I like Kyle Gibson at over 33.5 fantasy score. As I mentioned, he's had 40 and 43 fantasy points against Miami this year, and their lineup's a little banged up right now. So I like Gibson over 33.5.
I'm with you. And that's my top play for PrizePicks. So we're all over the same
stuff. We're on the
today.
same stuff. Yeah.
Kyle Gibson over 33.5. I do love Cease as well, but I think that number 33.5 is very fair. I think Gibson gets there real high on that. And Paul Goldschmidt over 8.5 total fantasy score. I mean, I think I'd play it if it was 10.5. And, so I feel very comfortable with him getting to that number. In fact, I know you can't parlay them together, but I'd play as many Goldschmidt plays as you can, mix them in with different things. RBIs, hits, walks, whatever you can put on Goldschmidt. I think he's really in for a game today. So
yeah, and that reminds me too, Coach, for PrizePicks. Another thing that you can do, especially for this Colorado and St. Louis game, is you can load up on the over on the pitcher, hits allowed, runs allowed. I think all of those are going to go over. So
okay, sounds good.
Both pitchers to me, and then under on their strikeouts. I like that as well. So
very nice. Quick question in chat. Any weather concerns today? No, we're 100% go on everything. Only chance of a bit of a shower is in that game in Iowa, but it shouldn't be anything that's going to cause any issues. So we are completely a green light on all MLB for this afternoon's main slate and for the 2 games tonight. All right, your Boom Fantasy 2 bets of the day. What are your 2 plays there?
We may both have this one, but I like the over at 12.5, you said, on an implied run total for St. Louis and Colorado.
Yes.
And then I like the under on the implied run total of 8 in the White Sox and the Royals game. I think that Dylan Cease will hold them to 1, maybe 2 runs. So I don't see that game going very high at all.
Solid plays, no question about it. My 2 plays are, I'm taking the Philadelphia Phillies minus 165. I think that's a very, very fair price. Lay the cash there. We're expecting a good game from Gibson, so I feel comfortable doing that. The other one I like is the under in that Field of Dreams game. It's set at 9 for the Cubs and Reds. Lodolo's a nice young pitcher. I think that these 2 teams can be held down a little bit. I think that I was expecting that line to be 8, not 9. So I like the under of that Field of Dreams game as my second play for Boom Fantasy today.
Yeah, I like that. Coach.
Excellent. Sounds good. No 2 brains lineup today, but we will do one tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. We'll put a 2 brains out there. There are a million games tomorrow night, so that'll be a fun slate and a good one to get everything together as far as the Two Brains Fanduel GPP.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's it. Is that everything today?
Yeah, real quick, just want to touch on the Field of Dreams game with one play that I really like, and it's Aristides Aquino. He is 4 for 9 with 3 home runs against Drew Smyly, and we already had a confirmed Reds lineup, so he is in the lineup. He also has a PrizePicks prop of 0.5 total bases, so obviously I'll get the over there too.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And we'll be providing for our members that are listening. We're going to provide for that single game showdown in our Discord. So if you want to, jump in and check that out later tonight, a lot of people will be focusing in on that game.
Mm-hmm.
And as Crash said, the lineup for Cincy, they've been nice to give that out already. It's India, Senzel, Farmer, Votto, Solano, Almora, Aquino, Barrero, and Romine. So that's the 9 that are playing for Cincy. We have just a preliminary lineup for the Cubs. It's not confirmed. Morel, Contreras, Happ, Suzuki, Wisdom, Hoarder, Reyes, Madrigal, and Velasquez. So we both like Aquino in that 7-hole, low-owned, low-priced. Definitely one of the first guys we'll go to. Also, Kyle Farmer, another guy I was looking at in the 3-hole for Cincinnati. But we'll put together a full lineup on FanDuel and Yahoo, and then give you our core group for DraftKings for that game specifically.
Yeah.
All right. Again, thank you to everybody. Big shout out to JT, Dominic, Payne, boy from Cali, all our regulars that are in there. Appreciate you today. And tomorrow, again, we'll be back at the 11 o'clock time, and we'll have a busy show tomorrow with, I believe, 15 games on that night slate tomorrow night.
Oh, wow.
So I guess the key factor for me today, it's a Cease and Goldschmidt, and then build out as many Rockies and who are the Rockies? Rockies and Cardinals as you can. So that's sort of my theme today. How about you?
Yeah, definitely, especially in cash. I mean, in GPPs, I'm going to get a little bit different. I'm probably going to have, I've already made my preliminary lineup. So bottom of the order for those teams, guys, and then, some Houston and Cleveland. So
excellent. All right. Well, the fun thing is, once this we get done here, we start getting those lineups ready. A lot of the lineups are confirmed. Start building something. And again, we're going to get a good night of about 10, 11 straight hours of Major League Baseball. You got to love that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we'll have second round of golf we'll be providing for our members. And we'll have the NFL preseason 2-game slate tonight. So if you want to become a member, go to dfscoachtalk.com. If you're here in YouTube, quick thumbs up, hit the subscribe, the alert button, and give us a comment or question. That all helps us move up the algorithm on YouTube. So also check us out on TikTok. We did find out yesterday, Boom Fantasy is delayed just 2 weeks in their big launch. It's going to be towards the end of August, but everything's still looking fantastic. We're going to be arm in arm with Boom Fantasy going into this NFL season. So we'll have a lot more announcements coming up very soon on that. But it's some great stuff, no doubt.
Definitely.
All right. Any final words, Crash?
No, just going to be a fun day of baseball. The Field of Dreams game tonight is going to be fun. We have the NFL preseason from Steve and I. We'll be providing lineups for that. So, yeah, going to be a good day.
Good stuff. And it sounds like this weekend we may have our podcast and on both on YouTube and then on TikTok for our top wide receivers for this upcoming season, and maybe tight ends as well.
Yeah, we'll probably have our top 10 wide receivers and then like the top 5 tight ends, because I think once you get after those top 5, it just kind of becomes
a little
crapshoot. So yeah.
All right, my friends, thank you for listening in. Have an absolutely great Thursday, and we'll certainly be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB DFS PrizePicks and Boom Fantasy.